Hey, what's up, YouTube? It's Richie from Boston. It's the 6th, it's June, it's 2025. And for those that don't know, apparently I guess this is a concern. It's disconcerting. You see that dude in the background? That's my butler. Do you remember the million times I said I can't deal with all the emails, comments, etc., etc., etc. on all the various platforms? I need a butler. Well, it showed up in my mail one day. That butler, full-size butler. He's the same height as me. I put the sunglasses on him, and I found it strange because he looks just like Whitey Bulger, which I find really odd. But there he is. Yeah, that's my butler. And the reason I brought it out here is because it was always standing behind me in all my live streams. And the woman that sent it to me died within a week after sending it to me, and she was only in her 40s. And you know what kills me? And I've prayed about this and I've thought about this. I can't remember her name, and that drives me insane. But I'm going to show you some of this footage from Dr. David Martin. Now, bear in mind, this guy has a serious God complex. He just thinks he is the smartest guy on earth. I've looked at his YouTube channels and I've looked at some of his material. And this dude is a entrepreneur, financier, a storyteller, a professor, an inventor, a corporate advisor, and more. He's got an official website, a blog, Inverted Alchemy, davidmartin.world, etc., etc., etc. And he's talking about redefining wealth and all this other stuff. But I'll tell you what, he is the most arrogant, self-centered dude I ever heard of in my life. He's talking about something that's probably going to occur either this year or next year or very, very soon. It's tough to tell because the numbers line up. They really do. You know what I mean? The numbers really line up. What do I mean? This. If you look at the 4th of July for this year, this is what happens. And I already mentioned this prior. You guys have mentioned it in the comments. It comes out to 9/11. It's very convenient. It might work out well for them. Who knows? But as long as people keep pushing this out there, but they don't. They don't. The channels that want to pretend they're truth channels for views with their clickbait title, that's the same exact clickbait title for every video, they gloss over this and then they move on to haunted houses and all sorts of other wacky things. If we keep yelling about this, it might cause them to have to reconsider because that's what the internet is for. Many, many times, because of us quacking about their plans, they've had to alter their plans or shift their plans. We don't want this one happening. But the reason I'm going to have Dr. David Martin telling us how great and smart he is because he's got a point. And, you got to give it to him when he's right. So here we go.
There is a plan that involves the murder of 280,000 Americans on a single day. And the best part of it is they're going to blame a foreign actor for it, except for a tiny little problem. Yeah, if you hop down to page 9 of that National Blueprint for Biodefense, Seth, and highlight the first major paragraph under the U.S. House of Representatives, let's go ahead, for the sake of everybody on here, make sure that we read it. We were attacked, and we don't know who did the attack. But the infectious agent they used killed 280,000 Americans and infected at least 400,000 throughout the country on a single day, in addition to 200,000 dead and 800,000 sickened animals. Now, if you scroll up for a moment, Seth, and keep going until I tell you to stop, just keep scrolling. Scroll up, scroll up, scroll up. What you're going to find when you get to this page, oh, there you go. Look at ex officio members. If you look at the ex officio members of this particular committee, there are two names that I want to call your attention to. Gerald W. Parker and George Post. Those names are names that people should be familiar with, but they are not. These are veterinary scientists and gain-of-function scientists who have done an enormous amount of work in a variety of pathogens. George Post famously was very much involved in the Arizona contribution to the gain-of-function research that brought us COVID-19 and all of those kinds of things. And here we have the same actors. In this case, we have the ability to go into their research and find out what kind of pathogen would go after humans and animals on the same day? How do we figure out what that is? And it turns out that there are a bunch of options. Nipah virus is what they refer to in this scenario, but equine encephalitis, which is a huge gain of function problem, is something that these guys have been familiar with. And there are several other pathogens that these guys have been working with. And the fact is that they're telling us that on July 4th, on the celebration of the 249th year of America in its formation, we are going to allegedly have a biological weapons attack. And do you realize, Seth, that not a single person in law enforcement, not a single person in the White House, not Bobby Kennedy at HHS, not a Tulsi Gabbard at the DNI, not a single person is actually taking an action to interdict the actors that I'm talking about? This is not a problem that happened during the Biden non-presidency. This is a thing that is a statement of intent to once again take advantage of human dynamics.
So,
where we are going to appeal to fear, we are going to appeal to this notion that somebody out there attacked us, where we know already who the actors are. We have a high probability of knowing what they're going to say the pathogen was. And remember, these are not pathogens. These are weapons deployed against humanity. And as I've said many times, we can go back and look at the likely delivery mechanisms, which are rocket-propelled grenades that have blast-resistant pathogen concussive devices that allow a pathogen to be spread over a stadium, over a park, over any one of a mass gathering event, where you wouldn't know the difference between a firework going off and a pathogen ballistic device spreading toxins across a crowd. In fact, if I were going to do it, I would actually do it during the fireworks celebrations. So we know that this is actually a fully planned, fully baked, like you said, Event 201 kind of thing. And yours truly is the only one that started talking about it. And unfortunately, now this is the third show where there's been a conversation about this particular topic.
All right, so there's a lot to unpack here. I'm going to bookmark the discussion.
So I'll leave a link if you want to watch the rest of this, but I can't listen to this guy explain how great he is and so forth while he's inhaling air incredibly loud. And the other guy sounds like a left-wing, seriously effeminate dude. You know, no, it is what it is. We're supposed to be Christian, but, I mean, these two guys aren't going to do anything except talk. This is all this guy does do is talk. But the scenario or the story he told makes a lot of sense. It really, really does. Because they're going to say something happened, and then they're going to do this. They're just going to turn it on like they do. And like I said in the last video, these little things are the very center of these little mushroom blooms here. These blue things are the next rat or Dopplers. And that is when they're really juicing it. They're pulsing. It's microwave weapons. It literally is. It's microwave weapons that are affecting us in so very many ways. But I believe with the perfect frequency, they can activate all the people that did not listen and went out and took the vaccines over and over and over and over and over again, and then still somehow got COVID, when to this very day, nobody I know, including myself, has even gotten the flu. Not a cold, not nothing. A little bit of allergies at the beginning of the year, but that was it because summer showed up yesterday. It was 90 degrees and blazing hot, but this is how they're going to do the bio attack. They're going to knock down a bunch of people and say that it was fungus. Because like they told us before, they're all in this together. And they are. Including Trump and Elon. Elon's an actor, guys. That's just all he is. Elon's an actor. Do I have to remind you who he is? Yep, that's him. There he is. And you can only find it on a Spanish website. And that's him. And then that's him. There's just so many hymns. You see what I mean? Just like the Bible. With exactly a month left till July 4th, the exact date that's talked about in the blueprint for biodefense, April 2024, exactly a month prior, all of a sudden, these two Chinese nationals that got arrested last year, all of a sudden, it's in the news every single day, including today. This article right here on Fox News is just 4 hours old. I'm sorry. But you see what I mean? They're bringing it up again. Why? Why bring this up again? Why would people care about this? Because it plays to exactly what they're planning on doing. The only way we can possibly stop them or postpone it or whatever is to shine a light on it. And I'm watching other channels. I mean, I'm looking at their channels. I don't really watch anybody. I'm watching other channels and I don't see this. There's too many little things to talk about. You know what I'm saying? Let's talk about Elon and Trump and this and that and the other thing. I'm not talking about Elon and Trump because it's nonsensical. I already posted about it on my Facebook page and on Twitter because this is all part of the game, man. This is all part of the game. If you don't see this for exactly what it is, it's just another distraction. This is to divide Trump's base right down the middle again. You know what I mean? Divide and conquer, divide and conquer, divide and conquer until you just have mano y mano, period. I'm not going to make videos about that because I'm actually working on a large video on the Shroud of Turin, and I believe it's way more important than this drama. But, drama gets the views, and that's what it's all about, at any rate. So apparently this is the guy that Trump just put in charge to lead the terrorism prevention team. 1 year out of college with no national security expertise, Thomas Fuggett is the Department of Homeland Security official tasked with overseeing the government's hub main for combating violent extremism. So yeah, there you go. That makes complete and total sense. You know what I mean? Because fuck it. Why not? Tells you where we're at right now, or it should. These guys are scumbags, and they're going to go to their main bread and butter, which is a pandemic or an attack, because it worked so well before. I believe this right here explains everything that you really need to know. And hopefully, if the creek don't rise and the good Lord's willing, I'll be rolling out of here in about 3 weeks, maybe a little less, but I'm going to try to be out of here by the 4th of July, if humanly possible. But I'm almost at 75% of 100% on my fundraiser goal. And I got to say thank you to everybody. Tim McCandles, Renee Marino, Doug Stouter, Mary Langlis, Roger Ricketts, that doesn't sound real, but whatever, and everybody else that has done this. So check this out. Like I said, the top 10 donators, I'm going to come hang out with you. And then out of everybody that donates, no matter what you donate, I'm going to pick 10 people and I'm going to come and hang out with you. So that's 20 people total. That's a lot of people to come and hang out with. You see what I'm saying? And why have I done a fundraiser this year and last year? Because I've spent an awful lot of my own finances over the years hooking up with people, helping people out with their preps, helping people out in every way I can, especially the single mothers and other YouTubers. I really didn't think I'd be here this long, you know what I mean? So this is my means. I did it last year, I'm doing it again this year. But prior to that, that was all on my dime. All of it. And that's just how it is. So there it is. If you can help, you can help. If you can't, you can't. It's all good, at any rate. This is going to be absolutely everything. It's going to be famine, it's going to be pestilence, and it's going to be death. So the black horses, the fourth horseman of the apocalypse, everything they've been showing us in all sorts of different forums, The Simpsons, the Olympics, music videos, nonstop rhetoric, etc., and specifically the Deagle 2025, it all makes sense now. So this is something you really need to think about because this is going to happen soon. Is it going to be July 4th? I don't know, but as soon as we talk about it, boom, there it is. And they said exactly in the video, the news, exactly what that report says. They're going to poison people and they're going to kill animals too. Do you see what I mean? This is insane. Utterly insane. And they're spraying the skies like there's no tomorrow because it's starting to look like there isn't. Hit your knees. Pray to God. But prepare. Prepare yourself mentally to walk away from family, friends, everyone, because they're going to try to pull you right into the system. I'm in that exact same boat, but I'll get out of here one way or the other. I don't care. I mean, it is what it is. I am not bowing down to the system whatsoever at all. And the reason they've given us all our channels back is because they want to watch. They want to see us try to warn people, and people still ignore us like absolute imbeciles. At any rate, Richie from Boston. This is real. This is incredibly real. How could I possibly tell you there's an Event 201 Part 2, and then exactly what happened after Event 201? They showed us Chinese people dying, and then next thing you know, it was here. They just did it. It's on. I'm out.